Hey everybody, that's Bill, Blitz Moment Fab. Hey, just hanging out in the garage today, little short video. Just playing around with the rubber door trim. I ordered it, and this is on a 55, but it's probably just like this on a lot of, maybe 50s to 60s era cars. Real easy to replace. It was harder to get the old trim off than it was to put the new one on. So here it is. This is the door. This is the door rubber, just the door edging, and all of the rubber I'll show you in a little bit. I just did the driver's door first, and just goes all the way around, through the front of the door, all the way through the front edge, and down all the way along the bottom of the door. So this is a really stupid, simple project to do. I ordered the door trim, and then I ordered these little rubber bumpers. This one, there's one down here, and I did actually take a razor blade and trim just a hair off of this because the door closed really hard. So I put that one in. There's one over here on the front that goes in with the screw. These are just little rubber bumpers, and these just make your doors close, kind of positive. And then of course this seals it up a little bit, won't let any water get through. So that's what I'm doing. I'll get set up and I'll go over on the other door and I'll show you how I took it off, but it's real easy. This trim on these cars anyway, on the Tri-5s, has little plastic pins in it all the way along, and down under the bottom of the door there's a spot where there's two pins right next to each other, and that's how you get your trim started, and that's how it routes it around where it's supposed to be routed. Is you put those two pins down there in the bottom, and then you just start kind of pushing in these pins. And I've heard a lot of people say all different ways that, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. You know what? I took my finger and just took and pushed in on the rubber and pushed the push pins in. I didn't have any problem getting any of them in. If your doors are, maybe really rusty, or the holes are screwed up or something, you might have a problem. But I'll get set up on the other side and show you how what I found when I took them off. The old trim actually has it's got some wires in it, so I'll get set up over there and I'll show you what I did to take the old trim off. Hardest part was getting in right here in the edge of the door, trying to open up the door the right amount to be able to get your hands in there and be able to work on it. So I'll be back. Okay, I just dug this out of the box, had it for a little bit. I ordered these seals from Classic Industries. Precision Replacement Parts is who it comes through. Of course, it says made in Thailand. There's a part number, DWB 121055. I think that's the Classic Industries part number. So that's the part number on this. So let me get set up and grab the pry tool, and I'll start pulling the other one off, and I'll show you guys how I pulled the other one off. But this is the part, and like I said, it came from Classic Industries. I'll be back. All right, wedged myself in over here close to the wall. This side of my lift in my car is close to the wall, but if you can see, this is the old window seal, and if you can see, I don't know if you can see that it's all cracked, it's all hard, it's all like it'll tear apart just like this, little pieces. And so this is what I'm removing, and what I'm using to remove it is just these pry tools. Sorry about that. Just these pry tools, these little pry tools. You can buy them in a kit. I think about a kit of like 3 of them on Amazon. There's a short one, a long one, and then one that's a little straighter. So all I'm doing is just walking along this and just pulling these out. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but the old ones, these are probably stock or close to stock trim, but these have wire in them, and in every one of these little holes that's right in here in the door, you can see the little hole, there's a wire. So all I have to do is just kind of keep going down along this and popping these wires out. And I mean, that's all there is to removing this. Just going around and just continue on all the way around the door and pop these wires out. And like I said, the new ones have little plastic pins. I'll show you after I get this off and get the new seal out of the box. I'll show you, but I'm going to just go ahead and just walk all the way around the door and just pry these out. And then I'm going to just take a wire brush, run down this with a wire brush, and maybe a little piece of Scotch-Brite or something like that, just to kind of pretty this up. And then I'll grab the other seal out of the bag, and I'll be back and I'll show you, you know, just how easy it is to install these. So I'll be back. All right, so I got this thing lifted up in the air just so it's a little easier for me to get to. And like I said, I'm continuing to kind of pull these off and pull these clips out of here. And I was just thinking it's kind of funny when I was saying that I thought this might have been the original door trim. This ivory color off of the trim tag is the original color of this car. So that's kind of interesting. Didn't really think of that too much when I was thinking about this being original trim. But it's funny that I've seen this ivory in a few different, or whatever they call it. I think they call it an ivory. In a few different places in the car. And so I looked at the trim tag and that's the original color. So anyway, I'm just pulling this off. Like I said, when I get down here to the bottom of the door, there's a spot down here where there's two holes. So, and it's funny, the trim is actually gone. If you can see, it ends right here, and then the lip comes right around here, the door lip. And there's a spot under here, should be right in the middle, and that's got two holes. I believe it's right here. So there's two holes right next to each other, and that's where you start the trim, and that's where you start putting it back. So let me get the rest of this thing off, and then I'll see if I can get the front. Like I said, the hardest part is the trim that's up here and trying to get the door open the right way to you know, to get the trim out of there. So let me get the rest of this off, and I'll be back. Okay, so I got all of the old trim apart, and I've got the new trim piece out of the bag and laying right here on the deck on my lift. And if you look at all of the spacing in all of these, it's all kind of about the same, except for these two right here. These two are really close together. You can just barely put your finger in between them. And where those two go is they go right down in this hole and this hole. And if you look, there's an edge right next to it. So you can kind of tell that this goes in like this with this short edge up against the door. And then this raised seal sticks out so that it can push against, you know, your other edges over here and seal. So this is how you start your seal. This is what kind of gives you proper placement of your seal, is these two pins. These are the alignment pins on it. So I'm going to go ahead and start popping these things in. Can't really do it while I'm holding the camera. So I'm going to just start popping these pins in. And like I said, I just take my thumb and push in here, and you can feel, when you push in, you can feel the head of these. These are just little plastic push, you know, little push pins. So I'm going to go ahead and start pushing these things in and just kind of working this seal around the door edge. So I'll be back. Oh, and before I get too far, installation tip, trick, when I was going around the bottom, coming up the side, got to about right here, started coming back around here in the front, and guess where I ended up with my trim? I ended up on the inside of the hinges. So remember that your trim has to go on the outside of your hinges. Ask me how I know. So all I did is I just took the whole top of it I had just kind of laid it up here through the window, just laid it over like this. I got it laying here still. I'm not done yet. I'm just working my way up the front here. So all I did was took the trim. I had it attached on the bottom. I flipped it out to the outside of the car, and I flipped it in the window right here, just like this, just to get it on the outside of the car. So don't forget, that's where your trim needs to go. If you work your way this way and go all the way around the back and all the way around the top and get back over here to your hinge spot, and you haven't done the front of your door, which is kind of the hardest spot to get to, you're going to kind of be in a jam. So remember, the trim has to start on the outside of your hinges. It's on the outside of these two front door hinges. So just a little tidbit along the way. I'll be back. So as you can see, like I talked about, I'm going along here. I'm up on the top where it's kind of a real easy spot to see and a real easy, place to kind of film while I got the camera in my hand. If you put your finger up on the top right here, you can feel the flat spot of these pins. And all you do is put the pin in there and then just press down real hard with your fingertip, and you'll feel the pin go all the way in. Again, all you do is just put it in the hole, push down, find the flat top. You can feel the flat top through the rubber. I mean, this is brand new rubber. You can feel the flat top of the pin right through the rubber, and then just keep going. That's all there really is to this. It's real easy. I'll be back. All right, here I am. Got all the little push pins. You see the trim coming up the side of the door, coming all the way around the top. Like I said, I walk around and you can actually pick up on these and see where your push pin is. Make sure you got them pushed in all the way. So you can walk around and do that. On these Tri-5s, there's a couple little, this one has a screw in it. So I took the screw out and put the new rubber piece in here. This one here is just a little push in type rubber. And then the one over here, down here on the side of the door to keep the door tight, it's the same thing. It's just, you just put a little, I put a little awl in here and just kind of run it around in circles and to get the little push pin to push in through the holes. So I've got that, and I've got my door seals in, and so there you go. Just nice little easy video. Like I said, getting the old one off was almost a bigger job than putting the new one in. So I'm all sealed up and ready to rock and roll. So I'm out of here. You guys have a great day. I hope everybody's doing good and all's well in your life. Blitz Molin out.